do this podcast, video live stream with me. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Jules. This has been a long time coming.
It's my absolute pleasure to have you on. So, firstly, I'm just going to do a quick intro. This is a live stream that I do every week to shine the light on female founders and women doing extraordinary things in business. And let me tell you, Yas is definitely one of those women. So, I'm going to handball it over to you, Yas, to explain what it is that you do. What's the name of your business and why are you doing it?
Okay, thanks, Jules. So we are called Circonomy, which is basically the mashup of the two words circular economy. But it didn't start that way. It was back in 2013 when I was raising money for cancer research that I got frustrated selling cupcakes and brownies at my triathlon training every day. So instead, I asked myself the question, how do I raise money without asking people for money? And I thought of a garage sale. I called it the world's biggest garage sale, and I spun up a Facebook page. I created an event. We did a one-day world's biggest garage sale back in August of 2013, raised $15,000 in a day.
Oh, my God.
I know, $15,000. And that was the beginning of what I didn't realize at the time was now Circonomy, and the vision to create a world without waste, including human potential, which basically means we rescue, renew, repair, resource recover, and even remanufacture resources that would otherwise lie dormant and idle. Think of not things in your house. We started there, but now we're working with businesses, retailers, returns, defits, refits, any physical asset that would sit in a warehouse, in a building, anything idle. My company rescues those products, brings them into what we call the surprise chain, and we turn it into supply chain. And we make sure we can sell that through our e-commerce channels, which is on ground and online, and also through our design refit processes with businesses. And we make sure we provide assets accessible to consumers and businesses at a lower price, but at a higher value when it comes to circularity and sustainability.
So my God. So tell me a little bit more about that. So are you working with big companies that are selling everything from their computers to their desks to their whatevers? And then who do you on-sell them to?
Yeah, we are, Jules. So you think let me give you a couple of real life customer examples. So it was back in 2019 when Officeworks approached me and said, we have this problem. We've got 40 pallets. We don't really think it's stuff we can do anything with, but we also don't want to throw it out. And so that was when the term I created, surprise chain, came about, because our team at the time, which was very small, like 4 or 5 of us, just all, building this world's biggest garage sale concept pre-COVID days, where we would continue to have these big once-a-month events to raise money and invest it back into sustainability. But Officeworks provided an opportunity for us to consider, well, what if we could capture the data details and actually repair and renew those products? And then sell it at a retail rescue event. We held that retail rescue, which is a pop-up garage sale, specifically selling these products from the 40 pallets, which included desks, pens, diaries, some brand new things like pencil cases and other things that were just sitting idle in Officeworks warehouses or stores. So it was a combination of new, it was a combination of broken, and it was a combination of renewed stuff. We were able to hold an event. 1,500 people shopped with us that day. We turned it into, I'm not joking, we turned it into revenue. We created jobs. And more importantly, we diverted 98% of those 40 pallet products from landfill. And so that was the beginning of what we do now for retailers in bringing back the products that are generally problematic for them and outside of their normal operational system. But then what that also led to, Jules, was our first ever DFIT project was back in 2014 when the Brisbane Airport Corporation upgraded their international lounges, and they had 500 pieces of furniture, still really beautiful quality leather, high-grade furniture, but it had reached its end of its first life. So we took those products, we went and picked them up, Everyone thought I was crazy. We picked them up and we sold them. And what we were able to do is demonstrate 100% reuse and re-commerce. So we either buy or take, or even now have a services offering, which is underpinned by what is today a software platform that allows us to measure the metrics and the moments that matter for people, planet, and purpose. So we understand the carbon, we understand the operational hours, and we create employment opportunities for what I'm passionate about, neuro-inclusive employment.
Oh, I love it.
Where just like every single human is cracked and flawed, and sometimes our scars are visible on the outside, but sometimes they're invisible on the inside. Those imperfections in each one of us are as beautiful and as valuable as all the cracked and creviced products that come through our system. And we connect renewing those products and really valuing the full life cycle.
So is it now that part of the business, is that B2B? So
yeah,
other
B2B,
businesses that then go, oh, we need a little lounge, or we need whatever, buy it off you.
Yes, well, both. We actually do B2B and B2C, and we even offer wholesale for some of our consumers and clients who are looking to supply chain their own small businesses with products. Like, especially, you can imagine social enterprises who don't have accessibility to bulk products. We actually now support the supply of that as well. So because of the nature of the supply chain, it's not today we have 20 jackets, tomorrow we'll have 100 computers. It's like, surprise, here's all the returns we had over the last month. We don't know what's in there, but my company uses products, services, and software now at a mature level to be able to provide ESG and sustainability validity for our businesses who provide us with the supply, irrespective of how we get that product. However we get it in, we then partner, and then our team's job is to renew, repair, repurpose, re-commerce, sell.
Yeah.
And then we provide solutions for consumers and businesses. And we want everybody to shop renewed as easily as they shop new, because often it might just be a damaged box or an imperfect carton, or something else that's a small blemish, or maybe even no blemish at all. It might just be excess product that's now not in season.
So that leads me to, do you do a lot of fashion? Because I mean, I've now delved into this space, and fashion, something like, well, you will know the stats, but it's something like 45% of product ends up going to landfill every year because of the way fashion cycles, and that they've got to plan a year ahead what everyone's going to love. And of course, there's going to be some products that just don't go. So do you, I mean, are you drowning in fashion products?
We don't like to think we drown. We're always open for business and opportunity because we care so much about partnerships and amplifying the work our partners are doing. So the first and foremost thing is that we don't shame or blame. And it was right from the outset of our partnership offering with Officeworks, when it started as an anonymity customer. And these are terms we use at Circonomy and that we created, right? So anonymity means we can't tell anybody we're working with them yet. We built trust, transparency. Everybody's piloting projects at the time. And what we always hold strongly are the values to our business. We care about values and we care about impact. And so when we realized it was a strong values alignment and trust was built, and everyone, both Officeworks and us at the time, we were still called World's Biggest Garage Sale. In fact, we still are called World's Biggest Garage Sale. We just trade as Circonomy. But what that does, Jules, is it allows now amplification. So what we want to do when we partner with businesses who have the problem product, or buildings that have 15 floors of stuff they don't know what to do with, we're not here to sweep it under the rug. We actually want to help our partners look good through their responsible, desirable extension of the life cycle of the product. And they want to do the same. They want to make sure that it has value somewhere else. So when we do the work we do, it's not all about clothing or all about, we had artificial flowers and vases and electrical and furniture and chairs. And honestly, it's quite, for any traditional retailer, they must be thinking, oh my God, that sounds like hell. That is just so, like, how do you manage it all? But we don't manage the micro, we manage the macro. The macro
Right.
problem that we need to solve is how do we extend the life cycle of whatever it is that's a problem for you today, that's an opportunity for us tomorrow, and how do we connect community so they love your brand and we aren't shaming you in the whole life cycle of circular economy. So when we get clothes, and we had this beautiful array of activewear, we were selling it for $1. You know, these quality,
God.
I know, Jules, like we're talking about speed. We're talking about, yes, could we make more money if we put our pricing up by 20%, and would we still be competitive? Absolutely we would. But we're always focused on what we've always called it no-brainer pricing. Because if we then become the dormant goods holder of these assets because we're trying to maximize the value, what we would be doing is just feeding the linear solution, right? The linear problem that's there. Take, make, waste. Take a product, make it, stick it on a shelf, hit and hope someone buys it. But we really take a storytelling as our selling approach. We amplify the brands we work with when we can. And we ensure that everybody knows the amazing work that these brands are committed to ensure that their products are not sitting in warehouses or wasted. So yes, we get an abundance of clothing, but we love it when that happens.
Yeah.
We also get an abundance of, I went into our Morningside location in Brisbane over the weekend, and it was just perfect for Mother's Day. There's artificial flowers, vases, candles, like all this stuff brand new, candles from $1. Candles are normally very expensive. These candles were $1. And so our job, we don't always get our pricing right. We know that. And it's because we empower our team. We allow, feedback from our staff on, how much should we sell this box of Arnott's biscuits for that's going to expire in a month? These are the questions we ask internally. And the key is, well, how many boxes do we have and how quickly do we want to be able to provide them to be accessible to consumers? And the beautiful thing about that is, you said before, do we manage and support B2B customers buying product? Absolutely we do. And we are open for business to B2B customers. We're also B2C focused. And those 100 boxes of a 6-pack, 3 kilos of Arnott's assorted cream biscuits, the best ones you can find, that were going to expire within 30 days because they were the best before date was approaching. They came to us, 100 boxes on a pallet, less than 12 hours later, Jules, all sold,
gone.
all
fantastic.
gone. And what I love most? Yes, you can do the loose numbers. We got 100 boxes in. We sold them for $9 a box. We made $900. Less than the $900, Jules. And this is where the founder love I can't divorce the love. The impact for me on the people buying those biscuits.
Well,
families that shared, we have 6 kids. This is amazing. This is normally $30. I'm now able to buy 3 boxes, 3 times the number, to help my family through the school term of biscuit supply. And I'm like, crying. I absolutely love the impact stories. So it's metrics that matter so we can be a sustainable business, but moments that matter more so that we can be a sustainable enterprise to help support community, support commercial, and ultimately support the cause of circularity.
So I've got 2 questions for you. One is, do people buy off your website? Do we need to go to circonomy.com and there's just loads of different products on there? Oh my God, everybody needs to know about this.
Yes, circonomy.com.au. So we haven't got the .com yet, but the .com.au, and yes, you should, but understand that it is very much supply chain. So the way I work, you never know what you're going to find. And not everything, because of speed, like those Arnott's biscuits went online, half sold online, but half sold on ground. And so sometimes it's so quick that if you're local, we have a outlet in Reservoir, Melbourne, and an outlet in Morningside, Brisbane. Absolutely, if you're local, it is worth dropping in and just experiencing the Circonomy way. The team are amazing, and they are the reason the business is a success. The people, like we're in the business of building people, right? The people and the passion is why we exist, and the process and the execution is what keeps us alive. But ultimately, we're never going to lose the love. Our first logo for World's Biggest Garage Sale was unashamedly a love heart. I wear love hearts still to this day in my ears because
beautiful.
Love is one of those values in our company, because I've never wanted to build a business just to make money. I've wanted to build a legacy business that makes a difference. And we don't always get it right, but we absolutely love hearing when we don't, so that we can deliver better outcomes for our customers.
And what a fantastic way of looking at business, that you know, there are no mistakes really, they're just learnings, and we know that. So what's your big, hairy, audacious goal for Circonomy? Where do you want to be in, say, 5 years?
Everywhere, global. I joke that when you walk into an office or walk into a home, you will see a Circonomy product there.
Right.
Somewhere in your, will be a well-known brand that brings and shines light on circularity and what has long been a very disparate marketplace of disconnection of accessibility for products in the circular economy. You think, you know, we've got charity stores, we've got markets, we've got Facebook, we've got Gumtree, we've got other brands and their websites, we've got, you know, full service suite offering of all this disparate opportunity. If, you know, Depop and other brands doing it online, but there's not a synonymous like the Hoover of vacuums, remember in our you know, like Circonomy, and that name was on purpose. I created the name back in 2018, back when people were still saying circular what, and I realized transparently that World's Biggest Garage Sale was not going to sit well around the tables of boardrooms and be taken seriously, even though the essence of what we do is absolutely a game changer at board level. The way our brand would have been felt was charitable, dirty, secondhand garage sale. And so even though we started out that way, and the business is still officially registered as World's Biggest Garage Sale Proprietary Limited, in 2018, when I was starting to raise capital and starting to realize that there will be tech, there will be scale, there will be global, but you got to work towards it like any company scaling up. Circonomy was a better brand, and we didn't launch it until 2022 at the right time, post-investment, where, you know, we went out for a capital raise to invest in team tools and tech to grow up and prepare this business for global and national and global. Where are we going to be? I believe consumers will be able to go into Officeworks stores in the future and buy a Circonomy chair because we repaired it. I believe that. I believe you'll also buy your new chairs from Officeworks that Circonomy can't fulfill. And I believe we'll see a blended circular model fully integrated into our retail experiences.
And maybe Officeworks will do something like IKEA does, and you'll be able to bring back a broken.
Yes. Well, we do that already. Like, so Circonomy are their partner already. We did that as a pilot. We did that as a pilot for 3 or 4 years in Brisbane. And we've now expanded that nationally. And whilst it's not as seamless as the IKEA, you know, they've got their little floor footprint that allows them to do that.
They are quite a big company.
Yeah, they are. They are. We love IKEA. And but what we'll see is we will start to see that happening at Officeworks stores. Our team are already going to site, our response squad, and repairing chairs at Officeworks stores today so that they can stay at Officeworks stores to be sold to you tomorrow. But it'll be Circonomy renewed as a chair. And so the future is circular. The future is sustainable, but we've got to make it more accessible for everybody, consumers and businesses alike, so that it's not going to break your company or your processes to design circularity into your systems. We're here to support that. So that's why we've been a multifaceted macro solution provider that offers products, services and software, because we needed to glue it all together to make it easier for businesses to do business with one business that can then we partner to ensure that we can support local businesses to deliver on the work that we do, so that it's a full impact solution for people and planet.
Such a brilliant concept and such a brilliant idea.
Thank you.
All right, now we've got a little bit of time. We've probably got about another 7 or 8 minutes. I'd love to ask 2 questions. One is, tell me a story about a brand you've worked with. You've told us about Officeworks, but tell us another impactful brand that you've worked with, or a situation where you've managed to really make a difference. And then the second thing I'd love you to just touch on is you've raised investment, and you know that women founders in Australia find it extremely hard to be able to tap into the VC world or into the investment world. So can you just tell me a little bit, like in 2 or 3 minutes, about what it was like raising the funds and how hard it was, and then tell me a story about someone you've worked with.
Yeah, the funding thing is interesting. You nailed it, Jules. It's actually globally female-led ventures get 2%. 2% of venture capital. And look, it's a shitty statistic. Let's just call it out. It's not great. But I'm not a cry in the corner type of gal. I'm okay, 2%. All right. Well,
how can I be part of that 2%?
Yeah. How and what are the other stats that actually take it away from a negative bias to positive? So, Jules, you might not know, and I'm going to tell your audience today, female-led ventures return 36% higher returns than their male-led counterparts.
I do, and they feed it back into the community, unlike others. So you're a very good risk.
Invest in the way I want to pitch, and I've joked about this for the last 7 years. Like, do they not know how good I am? If I say I'm going to do something, and it's not arrogance, it's assurance. I know you would back me. You would employ me. I would execute, and I would fall on the sword before I would give up. I would absolutely, I've got the grit. I've got the flexibility. I'm extremely coachable. I'm all the qualities of a founder that everyone wants, but I happen to look like a woman and sound like a woman and am a woman. And so I used to be like, just give me your money. It's safe with me. I'm going to turn it into something. But you can't invest like that. I mean, people don't invest like that. But what I thought was metrics, data. How can I prove? So the proof was, look at the partners we have: Cisco, Officeworks, Mirvac, David Jones, Catch, brands that are recognizable, that build trust. So when other brands go, oh, we're looking at you and we're not sure if we want to get involved, and investors are looking at you, they go, oh my God, you've got Officeworks. You've done this. How did you get Officeworks was one of the biggest questions I got when I was raising capital. And we built a relationship. We didn't get Officeworks. We had a relationship of values. And Sarah Hunter, the managing director of Officeworks, says that herself. So we didn't get them. We just piloted, failed, tested, executed. So the way I raised capital was different. I didn't go and pitch 100 investors and beg for money and get 5 people to like me and then still beg for money and spend 6 months and break myself doing it. It was, well, I'm going to have an investor event, an ANZ, who were my banking partner at the time. I had my own investor event, and shout out to James Lane. He's not at ANZ anymore, but I rang him and I said, you're my bank. I have no money. I need an investor event. Can you put on your fancy boardroom that overlooks the Story Bridge City? Can I? And it was so clever. That was 2019. And I said, I need to get investors, angels, businesses, brands. And to be honest, James, I need you to be the man on stage to introduce everybody. And then I'm going to get people who are experts in the areas my business is brilliant in. I got the chief entrepreneur, QIC, Peter Ellis from River City Labs was my MC. Dominic Lamb at the time was the National Retail Association CEO. I brought in men and women who could tell stories about circularity, sustainability, retail, impact, global trends, so that they weren't listening to Yas, this strong, abrasive, direct communicator with passion that people say can be exhausting. I wanted them to look past the bias of who they saw me as and actually hear the market I'm in and how actually incredible my traction is, but hear it from other people. And that is how we closed the first round of investment, because people came to us and I didn't have to run around the country. It was efficient, effective, and brilliant. And then the second round, which was the meatier round, I raised $4 million of capital in 4 weeks. But I do say transparently, it took me 4 years to get there. But, you know, Jules, it was back at a time when I was raising it with the values-aligned investors. We were in lockdown. I locked myself in a capital raise cave. We've got a whole other podcast we could do to tell you about this. It happened at the same time as my marriage ended. Like, it was a shit show. God. It was an utter shit show of a time for my life, but I put on my big girl pants and I pitched my business because I knew we could demonstrate value. And I demonstrated growth, demonstrated execution, and it was Officeworks and Wesfarmers that led my investment round. And they are now today investors in my company because of the work we did with them. So in a full circular way, the very first business partner in retail we had became my primary investor in a capital raise 2 years ago. And would you believe, a year after that, one of their staff jumped ship to become my CEO because I was hiring a CEO. And he was my first customer, and he is now the CEO leading the operations of my business. And I could not be happier. It is
congratulations.
That full circle of just backing yourself, Jules. You've got to back yourself, and if you believe it, you can achieve it. And so I guess, don't go and follow traditional investment methodologies. If you don't think it's going to work for you, make your own up and do it your way.
As a woman, that you do need to think outside the box.
You really do, and bring people in to help amplify you. And I suppose in all of that, it's led to businesses like Mirvac working with us who engage Circonomy to be able to take their defit from their buildings where they ordinarily would just have it as part of the demo, or as part of the get rid of it all quickly, we've got to move new tenants in. Businesses like that are no longer doing business that way. People want to deal. It's the why. Simon Sinek said
they want the impact. Yeah.
People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. And they're the customers we want to work with. Those who are a bit scared of what innovation and change looks like, Circonomy is your change agent, and we will execute that in partnership together.
Oh, big cheers and big hooray, because you are amazing. Okay. I think we might need to sort of semi-wind it up, but talk to me about how, if you're a brand, they can get in touch with you to sell their products, and how, if people want to get hold of Circonomy products, they can get hold of them as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I would always say I'm still full-time in my business, and my job is the out in the front, telling the story and talking to people about their challenges and problems. So reach out to me. We are open for business, and we want to hear your problems. And if we can't help you, we have a network of people who can, and we're really passionate about that. So definitely reach out. And take a look at our website if you're looking for products for yourself or your business, but use the website as a guide, because, Jules, the surprise chain means what we don't have today, we may have tomorrow. And the way we work, like we did the resource recovery with the FIFA World Cup. So all the Officeworks products that were bought for FIFA that were going to have a single life use at the FIFA stadiums. Yeah. We were able, Circonomy was engaged to come in and take all of that product at the end of the games, and we were able to pre-home it to schools, businesses, colleges, social enterprises. So don't use our website as a pure play guide of what we have. Reach out to our team, connect with us on the web, connect to our socials, just engage with our people, because you'll see the difference.
Okay, so tell me, whereabouts are you on socials? And remind everybody and give everybody the email address, the web address, and spell it.
Yes, so I'm Yas Grigaliunas. My name is hard to spell, but I can tell you, if you just put in Yas and Circonomy into LinkedIn, you will find me. Okay. And that's how I'd invite you to connect with me directly, and let's start the conversation. And if you're looking to engage with our outlets, our team, and online, www.circonomy, circonomy.com.au. You can browse our products, learn more about our services, and connect to our amazing team.
Well, Yas, you are such an inspiration. What an amazing woman. I am so glad I met you at that SBE dinner, I think it was. And I have a feeling that was just as your marriage was ending, and you were holding yourself together particularly well under difficult circumstances. So well done. And I would encourage people to go and look up the stores in Reservoir and in, where is it? Morningside
in Brisbane. Yes.
Okay, fantastic. I hope you've enjoyed today's show. It certainly has got me all fired up this morning. If you're interested, or you want to be connected to other women who are like Yas and myself, who are running great businesses, go to shesthebossgroup.com. We have got all the events for the year on the website now. We've just added a new widget, so you can go and sort of block out some days during the year. Connect with me on LinkedIn, and this is shown on my profile on LinkedIn, or join the She's the Boss Facebook group, which is very engaged with 4,000 women in there. I also coach women on how to raise your profile and get out into the spotlight. I've got a course called How to Become a Woman of Influence. And I've recently just launched the Australian Women Speakers Directory at womenspeakers.com.au. So if you're looking for a speaker, no excuses that you can't find women anymore. We've got 60 of them in there. And in the Facebook and the LinkedIn groups, we've got another 1,800. So there are plenty of women that want to speak. Yas, you are amazing. Thank you so much. I can't wait to share this.
Thank you so much, Jules. It's been a pleasure.